We are back with a brand new demo. Today's demo is a game called Omea. And in this demo, there's one story to play through, which is Odin's Trial, Vikings. The storm took your ship. You wake alone on a frozen world. Find a way off before the cold or something worse claims you. See details. Let's get, as usual, we're getting right into it. Okay. E. Winters. Sandbox, Viking, survival, and horror. Okay. Ethan Winters. Kind of. Not that one. Okay. Still kind of loud. One sec. Alright, there's a Viking raider, 30 Winters. A Viking raider washed ashore half dead after his ship broke on the rocks, alone on a frozen island. He aches for a home he can no longer picture, and something in the dark already circles. Shield Maiden. A Viking shield maiden washed ashore half the same thing. Okay, okay. Viking raider. The storm took everything. Your ship, your shield sisters, and most of your memory. You woke half frozen on a strange shore, rained by wreckage and the dead. You know only two things. You're a shield maiden, and you have a home worth returning to. Everything else, names, faces, the shape of your hull, slips through your fingers like meltwater. Ahead lies an island of frozen forests and jagged cliffs, and the promise of a long, cold death. Something watches from the shadows. Survive it, remember who you are, and find your way home. Okay, attribute, mental, average, physical, social, weak. What's up this? Okay, so Laura's very low. Okay, so kind of makes sense. So what? We don't have, oh, our physical is strong. That makes, okay. Okay, so our physical, our endurance. Oh yeah, she's a shield maiden, so that makes sense. Okay. And lost memory, so that's why that's abysmal, and why I'm guessing persuasion is as well.
Finally. I am Hugin. Thought. Yours specifically. The only part of your mind Odin left you. Your memory waits across this island. My brother Munin. Reach the frozen passage before the blood moon peaks, or remain nothing. One problem. Fenrir's child guards the passage. Tonight it hunts the whole island. Can you outrun a god's wolf?
Huh. So Odin has something to do with this. And his two ravens, which is cool. Location discovered, Low Fords, noon.
Your legs are heavy, numb as driftwood. You push yourself up, and the world tilts, grey sky spinning against black rock. You catch your balance, but the cold bites through your soaked tunic, sharp as a serpent's tooth.
Status hypothermia.
Around you, the Drakkar lies broken, a splintered ribcage against the stones. Bodies wash in the surf, pale and still. To the north, cliffs rise higher. South, the shore curves towards sand. East, a dark forest presses close.
Story point. Hypothermia risk, wet clothing, no name, no
Shivering. Good. Means the fire inside hasn't gone out yet. But it will if you stand there admiring the view. Look at you. A shield maiden reduced to a dripping rat. The trial has begun whether you're ready or not.
trial.
A smear of red catches your eye. A trail of blood leading up the rocks to a motionless shape. The wind howls off the water, cutting through your wet clothes.
Okay, first. Items, driftwood, washed up the shore, burns eventually. Okay, obvious. Drakkar. A Viking longship, sleep fast, able to cross oceans and navigate rivers. The forest, the clothes. This is where we are. Okay. And it is noon. This is us. Oh, that's not bad. Backstory. This is all we know. Abilities is also what we know. Inventory. Seaskin pouch. Oiled silk. Okay, so a pouch. Hand axe, so it's clothing. Hugin. Huh. Okay, all we can do, that's not bad. Suggestions, keyboard, voice. First, we're going to check our body.
You pat yourself down, checking for breaks in the bone or holes in the gut. Your limbs ache, stiff and heavy, but nothing is broken, just bruises blooming like storm clouds under your skin. Your tunic and trousers are sodden, clinging to you like a second skin of ice. The hand axe is still at your belt, the leather handle slick with seawater. The sealskin pouch is there too, heavy against your hip. Around you, the low fjords stretch out, a graveyard of black rock and frost. To the north, the land climbs toward higher cliffs. South, the shore gentles into what might be a beach. East, a wall of dark pine forest looms, silent and watchful. The sun hangs low and pale, casting long shadows even at noon. The wind cuts through your wet clothes, constant and biting. Nearby, bodies bob in the shallows or lie sprawled on the stones, your shield brothers and sisters, faces you almost recognize but cannot name. Further up the slope, a trail of dark blood leads from the waterline to a crumpled shape on the rocks.
Alive, disappointing for some, I'm sure. You're checking yourself for wounds while the real danger is already sniffing at your heels. That blood trail. Someone didn't just drown. Something tore them apart.
The cold settles deeper into your joints. You need warmth or dry clothes or both and soon.
Okay, what is this? So this is the beach. Just get up and wait. Get up and check the bodies of our shield. Oh. brothers and sisters.
You force your stiff legs to move, boots crunching on frost-slicked stones. The wind cuts at your wet clothes as you wade into the shallows. The dead do not resist. Your shield brothers and sisters lie broken against the rocks, faces you should know but cannot name. One by one you search them, a grim duty for the living. The sea has taken most of their gear, but not all.
Ooh. Found a soul knife, and still.
From a body half buried in seaweed, you salvage a Sikh's knife and a set of flint and steel. Fire, if you can make it catch. Another corpse wears heavy furs, sodden but warmer than nothing. You strip them, the cold water stinging your hands on a bloated arm. A silver arm ring glints. You take it. Silver is always valuable.
Looting the dead. Practical. The gods approve of efficiency, if not of sentiment. That silver, pretty, but it won't stop you freezing if you stand here much longer.
The wind howls off the water, colder now. You have tools, but you are still wet, and the sun is already past its peak. The trail of blood leading up the rocks glistens wetly in the grey light.
Edible seaweed. It told us some directions for sure. It was. I know you mentioned want to check the sealskin pouch. Stretch out, Black Rock Frost. That's graveyard. To the north, the land, higher hill, south. To what might be a beach, east. Walk to the east. Well, sparse. Afternoon.
The steep path bites into your calves, loose stones sliding under your boots as you climb away from the shore. The wind drops abruptly as you pass under the first line of spruce, replaced by a heavy silence. The air here is still, damp, and smells of resin and rotting leaves. Sunlight filters through the dense canopy in pale, slanting beams, barely touching the forest floor where shadows pool dark and deep. The ground is uneven, a tangle of roots and hidden hollows under a thin crust of snow. To the north, a faint trail winds uphill through thicker woods. South, the trees thin slightly, letting in more light. East, the darkness deepens into the heart of the forest. Somewhere far off, a wolf howls, a lonely, haunting sound that echoes among the trunks.
Shelter. At least the wind won't kill you here. But wolves, they like the cover. And something else walks these woods. Something that leaves tracks too big for any natural beast.
The cold still gnaws at you, but the damp chill of the forest is different from the biting wind of the coast. You need to get warm, and soon.
Chop. Look around for trees, for wood on the ground, or trunks that can be chopped to start a fire.
The forest floor is a carpet of rot and needles, damp under the thin crust of snow. You scan the ground looking for deadfall, branches dry enough to catch. Most are sodden, heavy with moisture, but you find a few promising pieces. a spruce bough snapped by wind, birch bark
Oh,
peeling from a fallen log. You gather them quickly, fingers clumsy in the cold. The flint and steel feel slippery in your numb hands as you kneel in the shelter of a tree root, arranging the birch bark and small twigs into a nest. You strike the flint, sparks fly, hissing into the damp bark. Nothing. You strike again, harder, your breath pluming white in the still air. The cold gnaws at your fingers, making them stiff and uncooperative. One spark catches, glows red for a heartbeat, then dies in the damp fibers.
okay. Gained. Ignite the fire before the cold takes you. Okay. Roll the dice, refuse to test. That's cool. We can refuse to do some rolls. We just need a 5. Wait, what? 1 plus. How is this done? Massive success. 5 plus. That's a 5. Well, 6. Oh, this is lower. Okay, that's fine. We just needed to make 1 of 5 or more.
The flint strikes true, a shower of sparks cascading onto the birch bark. This time they catch. A flame flares, bright and hungry, licking up the dry twigs and catching
having
hold
this
of the
up.
spruce boughs. Within moments, a steady fire crackles before you, pushing back the forest's damp chill. The heat washes over your numb hands, bringing the sting of feeling back to your fingers. You huddle close, the fire's orange glow reflecting in your eyes, driving away the grey shadows for
I need
the
to take
first
this
time
off.
since you woke.
Well, you didn't freeze to death. A low bar, but you cleared it. Fire is life, they say. In this place, it might just be the only thing keeping you from becoming another frozen corpse for the wolves to find.
Warming, safe from cold. Consumed by fire. Take off the soaked clothing to dry by the fire. Oh, and wrap self and wrap ourselves into the the furs are wet as too are also wet. Take off the wet clothes to dry by the fire along with the wet furs.
You peel the sodden wool and leather from your skin, the fabric clinging stubbornly before releasing with a wet sucking sound. The air hits your bare flesh like a physical blow, sharp and biting, raising goose flesh instantly. You spread the tunic, trousers, and heavy furs over branches arranged around the crackling fire, the heat already beginning to steam from the wet
Let me put
fibers.
this on.
Naked on the cold forest floor, you crouch close to the flames, the orange glow the only barrier between you and the freezing dark.
Bold or foolish? Probably both. You look like a stripped piece of meat waiting for the spit. The fire keeps the wolves at bay, chosen, but it also lights you up like a beacon. Hope you dry before the wood runs out.
I hope so too.
The fire pops and hisses, consuming the moisture in your gear.
There's
For
3
a moment
points.
you are warm, but the ground beneath you is still frozen, and the shadows at the edge of the firelight seem to press closer, waiting.
Sealskin pouch. Check the sealskin pouch. Oh, for any items. Can we I'll take anything
You
we can
untie
eat.
the leather thong securing the sealskin pouch, the knot stiff with salt. The leather is soft, well worn and smells of fish oil and old smoke. You upend it over your palm, shaking out the contents onto the bare dirt by the fire. 3 objects roll into your hand: a small whetstone, smooth and dark with use, a carved wooden figurine of a bear, its head rubbed shiny from handling, and a single runestone, a flat piece of slate etched with the algae's rune, the elk, a symbol of protection and the connection between gods and men.
Trinkets, a bear, strength perhaps, and algaes, the elk. You were protected, or you hoped to be. Did the gods listen? Obviously not. Or maybe they did, and this is their idea of mercy.
The firelight catches the runestone's etching, casting a small shadow that looks like antlers. The objects feel familiar in your hand, but the memories attached to them remain just out of reach, like words on the tip of a tongue.
That's cool. Um, do I speak the runes aloud? There's a freaking talking raven.
You lift the runestone, the slate smooth and cold against your palm. The symbol of algaes, the elk, the shield, seems to stare back at you. You take a breath of the sharp, resin-scented air and speak the name of the rune, your voice rough from salt and silence. Algaes. The sound carries through the still forest, a single sharp syllable that seems to hang in the damp air longer than it should. For a heartbeat, the firelight flickers, as if the wind itself paused to listen. The shadows under the trees seem to draw back, just slightly, from the circle of light.
Words of power, or just words. Hard to tell the difference these days. You call on protection, chosen, but remember even shields can break. And the elk, it runs. It does not fight.
The runestone feels warm in your hand, a faint heat that might be the fire, might be your own blood, or might be something else entirely. The forest remains silent, save for the crackle of the flames and the distant, lonely cry of a wolf. Your clothes steam over the fire, the smell of wet wool and smoke filling the small clearing.
Check if the clothing or furs are dried. Because we need to head out. Warm.
You reach out to the tunic and trousers hanging over the branches. The fabric is dry to the touch, stiff from the salt but no longer sodden. The heavy furs have shed their dampness too, the fur soft and warm against your skin. You dress quickly, the wool and leather feeling like a second skin again, far better than the biting air. The furs go over your shoulders, their weight a comforting embrace. The cold still nips at your face and hands, but the fire has done its work. You are no longer in danger of freezing to death within the hour.
Finally dressed. I was enjoying the view, but the forest was getting jealous. You look less like a drowned rat now, more like a warrior who might actually survive the afternoon.
Clothing. Okay. There was something. We learned directions here. One sec. Sorry about that. What were we? Did we? Okay. Does it tell us here? I don't think so. Okay, I know I do want to do with our items first, but I want to look to see there's something with the forest. Here we go. Ground is uneven. To the north, a faint trail winds uphill through thicker woods. South, the trees thin slightly, letting in more light. East, the darkness deepens into the heart of the forest. Let's go. Gonna head. Faint trail. You know what? We're gonna head deeper into the woods at this point. So let's do the heart of the forest. Something far off. Let's go to the trail. So we're gonna head north. But we're gonna put okay. The runestone. We're gonna put all our items, but we're gonna keep the. We're gonna. Oh, we're gonna put the knife in our boots, but hold the. Wait. We're gonna play. Keep the fire on, but place the everything. Place everything but the. Oh, come on. But the axe and knife back in our bags. We put the knife in our boots and hold the axe in our hand as we head north up the faint. As we head north, following the faint trail. I just want to make sure. So it's the whetstone. Oh, I do have a whetstone, don't I? Can I copy this? Oh, crap. That's gonna annoy me. Um, Sharpen the knife and axe on the whetstone. Wow. And then look over the bear figurine. That's the only thing I haven't really looked at yet.
You take the whetstone in hand, its dark surface smooth and familiar. The Sikh's knife goes first, the rhythmic shh of steel on stone, the only sound in the clearing besides the fire's crackle. Then the hand axe, the edge glinting silver as you work the nicks from the storm. The metal sings under your touch, a warrior's meditation satisfied. You pick up the wooden bear. It fits perfectly in your palm, the wood worn smooth where your thumb has rubbed it 1,000 times. The bear's carved eyes seem to stare back at you, fierce, protective, a flash of memory, of fire, laughter, a deep voice saying, "Strong as the bear, little one." Then it's gone, leaving only the cold forest and the smell of wood smoke.
A toy or a totem. You hold it like it's the last piece of a shield you lost. Memory is a cruel thing, Chosen. It gives you just enough to make you miss what you can't remember.
Do we have memory? And that's what we're following? We're going, huh? Do we have pockets? I don't think we do. Trousers with leg bindings that come loose. Okay. Place the figurine, place the bear totem in in our pockets. And everything else, everything else but the axe and knife in our pouch. Put the knife in our. How big is this pouch? In our pocket, and put on the ring.
You slip the wooden bear into the sealskin pouch,
Oh,
feeling
crap.
its worn shape settle against the runestone. The silver arm ring slides over your wrist, cold metal against warm skin.
Oh, so okay.
It fits perfectly, as if it has never left your arm. The weight of it feels right, a small anchor in a world that keeps slipping away.
Adorned for battle or just for comfort? That ring, silver, expensive, someone thought you were worth it. Or maybe you stole it. Hard to tell with your memory full of holes.
Yeah.
The fire crackles, sending sparks up toward the dark canopy. The afternoon light is fading, the shadows stretching longer between the trees. The paths out of the clearing are clear now. North leads uphill into
Okay.
thicker woods, south where the trees thin, east into deeper darkness, and west back toward the sea cliffs.
We're gonna head north. Place the knife in our boot. Gather our things. Place the knife in our boots. Axe in hand, and head deeper north. And head north. Golden.
You secure the Sikh's knife in your boot, the leather sheath snug against your calf, and grip the hand axe, its weight familiar and grounding. The fire dies behind you as you walk north, the path climbing steeply through the thinning forest. The air grows colder, the silence deeper. No birds sing here. The wind in the ancient branches sounds like whispers in a tongue you almost understand. Ahead, the trees part to reveal a colossal oak, its trunk thicker than a longship's mast, rising impossibly tall against the darkening sky. Crude structures cling to its branches, a platform, a rope ladder, smoke curling from a fire pit high above. Runes are carved into the bark, spiraling up the wood like climbing ivy.
God speech. The old man calls it godatal, an oak that should not grow this far north, and a madman living in its branches. The island is full of contradictions chosen.
The ground around the
Madman?
oak is trampled, snow melted into mud by the heat of the fire above. To the east, a steep path leads uphill toward a lookout. South, the forest darkens. West, the path descends back the way you came. The silence here is heavy, watchful.
The tree house. Look around for traps and edible berries. Or what's the well, yeah. Or foliage. Let's see. Gonna have to eat at some point.
You crouch low, eyes scanning the trampled earth around the ancient oak. The ground is a mess of mud, melted snow, and fallen leaves. You look for the unnatural, a tripwire of braided grass, a
What's our
sharpened
perception,
stake hidden in the
actually?
undergrowth, a pit covered with branches. Nothing obvious shows
Average.
itself,
Okay.
but the forest is full of hiding places. You shift your focus to food, searching the bushes and roots for berries or edible greens. The shadows lengthen as the golden light fades, making every shadow look like a crouching wolf.
Hunting for dinner or hunting for death?
Dinner.
In this place, they often look the same, that red berry over there. Bright, tasty looking, or perhaps the last thing you ever eat.
A flash of red catches your eye under a spruce bough. A cluster of bright berries glistens in the gloom. Nearby, you spot what looks like a patch of mushrooms growing on a rotting log. But the light is failing, and your focus is split between watching for threats and identifying the plants. One wrong choice could mean a bellyache or worse.
Oh, spot traps or identify edible plants. Refuse. You know what? 5. Average and average. Oh, I only have 1. Let's reroll. Oh. Oh, that's. I just want to accept it. I'm going to accept it. Gotcha. You failed.
Your eyes strain in the deepening amber light, but the forest keeps its secrets. The ground beneath the spruce is a tangle of roots and shadows, and you cannot tell if the disturbed earth is the work of animals or something more cunning. The red berries gleam like drops of fresh blood, vibrant and inviting, yet something in your gut twists at the sight. The mushrooms on the rotting log seem innocent enough, but in this light, one patch of fungus looks much like another. You hesitate, hand hovering over the bright fruit, unable to trust your own senses.
Indecision. The wolf's favorite prey. Those berries bright enough to tempt a starving child.
A howl cuts through the gloom closer than before. It echoes off the ancient oak, sounding less like a distant call and more like a challenge issued from the next ridge. The silence that follows is heavy, watchful.
I'm gonna leave
The
it
cold
alone.
is creeping back into your fingers as you stand frozen in indecision.
What is this picture, though? Leave the berries and mushrooms alone and call out to see if someone is in the treehouse.
You step back from the tempting but deadly-looking berries, your hand falling away from the spruce bough. The red fruit gleams like blood in the amber light, a silent promise of a quick death. You turn your face upward toward the crude platform nestled in the ancient oak's branches and cup your hands around your mouth.
Ho! Is anyone up there? I mean, no harm.
Was not expecting
Your voice
acting.
rings out sharp against the unnatural silence of the forest.
Cool though.
It echoes briefly among the ancient trunks before being swallowed by the dense woods. Above, the smoke continues to curl lazily from the fire pit, but no movement stirs on the platform. The rope ladder hangs still, swaying only slightly in the chill breeze.
Shouting at the madman's nest, bold, or perhaps just loud. If he's there, he heard you. If he's not, well, you've just announced dinner is served to anything listening.
A moment passes, then a rustle of movement from the platform above. A face appears over the edge, peering down through the smoke and branches. It is an old man, wild grey hair whipped by the wind, his pale eyes unfocused as if seeing something beyond you. He leans over the railing, studying you with a mixture of curiosity and suspicion.
A voice. Where?
Hermit.
Ah. Below. A survivor. You walk on the roots of the world tree, stranger. Why do you shout at God's speech?
The old man's voice is raspy, carrying a strange cadence, like wind through dry bones. He does not descend, but watches you intently, his gaze drifting slightly to the left of your shoulder, as if addressing someone standing beside you.
Toro. Let's see. Respond. That we mean no harm, but was saved by a geese and by the deer and the, I have no idea this is gonna work, the bear to and was and think we were led here by the gods. I have no idea this is gonna work.
The old man's gaze snaps back to you, his pale eyes narrowing as he leans further over the railing. The wind catches his wild hair, exposing a tattoo of runes on his neck that seem to shift in the firelight.
Deer and bear, the elk runs. The bear crushes. You carry their signs, algae's protection, and the beast's strength. The gods do not lead, Strandwalker. They push.
That's
You
freaking
were pushed
cool.
here.
Pushed, dragged, or simply washed up like driftwood. The distinction matters little to the frozen. But do tell him more about your animal friends. He loves a good omen almost as much as he loves his own muttering.
God's speech feels your steps. The roots remember. Come up. The fire burns. The cold waits for no one, not even those led by Odin's eye.
Oh, you can.
The rope ladder swings slightly as
One-eyed
if
wanderer.
kicked from above, inviting you to climb. The smoke from the fire pit above smells of pine resin and something almost sweet, like dried herbs.
Go up and ask if Odin is a god that can be trusted. Probably not. Treehouse outside.
You grip the rough hemp of the rope ladder, the fibers biting into your palms. The wood creaks under your weight as you ascend, swinging slightly with the wind. Smoke stings your eyes, thick and pungent with herbs. Pulling yourself over the railing, you stand on the platform. The heat from the fire pit is immediate, a welcome relief against the creeping chill. The old man watches you, his pale eyes reflecting the flames.
Can Odin be trusted?
Trusted. The All-Father hung from the world tree for 9 nights, pierced by his own spear. He gave an eye for a drink from Mimir's well. He does not ask for trust. He asks for sacrifice. Do you have something to give, Strandwalker?
Oh, can I
Trust the
respond?
one-eyed god who trades eyes for wisdom and hangs himself from trees. By all means, ask him for a warm blanket and a cup of mead. See what he leaves in your stocking.
Can we respond?
Torolf turns away, muttering to the skulls arranged near the fire pit. He gestures vaguely toward a small sheltered nook piled with furs, then back to the flames.
The fire burns, the cold waits. Sit or stand, the roots do not care.
We're gonna stand. Wait. Stand and explain that Odin already took our name and memories.
You stand straight, the firelight warming your face, and meet the old man's pale gaze. The words come hard, scraping against the emptiness inside your skull, but you speak them true.
Odin has already taken his price. He took my name and he took my memories. I have nothing left to give but my life.
The empty vessel, a high price indeed. The All-Father does not bargain. He takes, and you are still here. The sacrifice has been made, but the trial is not done. You walk with one eye open, Strandwalker.
Congratulations, you're the All-Father's favorite chew toy. He took the parts that made you human and left the parts that can swing an axe. Efficient.
You knew this.
Torolf chuckles, a dry rattling sound, and gestures toward the sheltered nook behind him with a sweep of his arm. The smoke swirls, thick and fragrant.
Come, the fire burns. The roots do not care who you were, only who you become. Sit, God Speaker. We have much to discuss before the eye opens.
God speaker? Sit and ask what is a God speaker. Treehouse inside.
You lower yourself onto the furs near the fire, the heat soaking into your bones. The smoke thickens around you, smelling of burnt herbs and old wood. Torolf settles across from you, cross-legged, his eyes fixed on the flames as if they speak to him.
God Speaker Godamodr. Not a speaker for the gods, a speaker of them the All-Father whispers in the wind, in the raven's cry, in the crackle of fire. Men hear only noise, I hear words. The roots speak, the branches sing. This oak, Godatel, it remembers what men forget. I am the voice that remembers.
Or he's just a lonely man who talks to trees until they talk back. Either way, he's the only conversation you'll find on this rock. Ask him something useful, like how to not get eaten.
Torolf ignores the raven, or perhaps he does not hear it. He gestures toward the small sheltered nook behind him, where shadows dance on rune-carved walls.
The fire burns, the cold waits. You are warm, Strandwalker. But warmth does not stop the teeth
When we
in the
first-
dark. Ask, what gnaws at you?
What was it? They told us something. There's a trial. What was the trial again? Dripping red, check your body. Wish there was a find thing. Looting the dead, walk to the east. Odin wants a trial of some sort. Something, wait. I believe something is trailing me. How can I become prepared for what is to come? And do you have food? Let's see how this works, how the AI does this.
Torolf stares into the fire, the flames dancing in his pale eyes. He nods slowly, as if your words confirm a prophecy he heard long ago.
A trial, yes. The All-Father tests his warriors. But this is different. The thing that trails you is Fenrir's get. A Varulfur, it walks as a man, hunts as a wolf. It fears nothing, except the bright bite of silver and the clean hunger of fire.
There it is. The madman's riddle. Burn it or stab it with expensive jewelry. Simple, really, assuming you live long enough to get close.
So silver and fire.
Prepared, you are warm. That is a start. But steel will not hold it. It heals too fast. You need the old ways. And food. Yes, the belly must not grumble when the wolf howls.
Torolf rummages through a clay pot near the fire and pulls out a strip of dried, salted fish. He tosses it to you. It is tough as leather but smells of the sea.
Dried fish.
Each strength comes from the belly. But tell me, Strandwalker, do you know how to wield fire, or will you just freeze in the dark?
I can create fire from... I can make fire from... Wait. Like any man, but I have no memory of the old ways. I cannot wield... Wait. Cannot wield... Wait. Like any man, but I don't think I can wield fire in the way you are, the way I believe you are asking. I have no memory of the old ways. Let's see.
You bite into the dried fish, the salt stinging your cracked lips as you chew the tough, stringy meat. It settles heavily in your stomach, but the warmth begins to spread. The fire crackles, sending sparks up toward the darkening sky through the gap in the platform's roof.
I can make fire like any man, but I don't think I can wield fire in the way you are asking. I have no memory of the old ways.
The old ways, they are not gone, Strandwalker. They are buried, like you.
Cool.
Fire is not just warmth. It is purification. It is the sun's blood trapped in wood to wield it. You must understand what it hunger for.
Or you just need a torch dipped in pine sap and a steady hand. But by all means, let's discuss the philosophical hunger of flames while the wolf pack gets closer.
The raven mocks, but the raven does not burn.
Well, so you
You
can
lack
hear
the
it.
memory, but the hands remember. I have something, a light for the dark path. A prepared torch, soaked in the resin of the pine and the fat of the seal. It burns hot and long.
Torolf reaches behind a stack of rune-carved stones and pulls out a long, wrapped bundle. He unwraps the oilcloth to reveal a thick torch, its head densely packed with resin-soaked rags and bound with wire.
Take it, but know this. Fire is a hungry guest. Once invited, it consumes everything if
Yeah.
you do not feed it properly. Can you control it, Chosen?
I think he is crazy. Prepare a torch. Yes, as much as... Wait. I can only wait to see if I can. I can only wait to see if I can.
You reach out and take the torch, the resin-soaked head heavy in your hand. The smell of pine sap and burnt grease is sharp, promising a fierce, hungry flame.
I can only wait to see if I can. Thank you, Torolf. This will light the way.
Good. The fire chooses its master as much as the master chooses the fire. Keep it close. When the red eye opens, you will need more than steel to survive the night.
A torch. How quaint. Let us hope the beast is afraid of the dark, or at least easily distracted by shiny, burning things.
Prepare a torch. Ask about the runes alone. Ask. Oh, how do you spell his name? T-O-R. There we go. Ask the runes about the runes along his body.
Torolf shifts, the firelight catching the dark ink winding up his neck and disappearing into his furs. He traces a finger over the marks on his forearm, his eyes losing focus as if reading a script only he can see.
These words of power, the All-Father's alphabet carved into flesh, Fehu for wealth, Uruz for strength, and Algiz, like yours, the elk, the shield, protection from the unseen.
Or perhaps he just liked the way they looked and couldn't afford a proper mirror to see how ridiculous they are. Tattoos are just scars with pride chosen.
The raven sees only skin. I see the story. Each mark is a vow, a sacrifice, a piece of myself given to the old powers. They bind me to the roots, to the whisper of the wind. Without them, I am just a man. With them, I am God's speaker.
He may be a little crazy.
Torolf pulls his furs tighter, hiding the ink again, though the faint blue lines still peek out from his collar. The fire pops, sending a shower of sparks upward toward the darkening sky.
You carry the elk, but you do not wear it. Perhaps you
That's what I was
should.
going to ask.
The island is hungry, and symbols are the only armor that works against the things that have no shape.
Ask if Ruse pull out the bear totem and ask if it is a ruse.
You pull the small bear figurine from your pouch, the carved wood smooth and warm from your touch. Torolf leans forward, his pale eyes fixing on the totem as the firelight dances across its surface.
Is this Uru's?
Aye, the aurochs, the wild ox Uru's, primal strength, the force that tames the wild or becomes it. You carry the storm in your fist, Strand Walker. It is not just a carving, it is a memory of power.
It is a toy, a bit of wood you probably whittled to pass the time on a longship. But if believing it makes your arm swing harder, by all means believe.
The raven sees only wood. I see the shape of the soul. Strength without direction is just a stampede. You have the bear's power. Now you need the wolf's cunning, or the elk's caution.
Torolf pokes the fire with a stick, sending a fresh wave of sparks up toward the darkening sky. The amber light of golden hour is fading, deepening toward the coming dusk.
The sun bleeds out. Soon the red eye will open. You have fire, you have silver, you have the bear's strength. But do you know where the beast waits?
No. No. Ask if he does. No. Wait, let's do it this way. No. Do you know where? No. Do you? Oh, crap. Quotations and... Ugh.
Torolf stares into the fire, the flames reflecting in his pale eyes like tiny trapped spirits. He hums a low, discordant tune, rocking back and forth on his heels.
The beast, it waits where the ice meets the land, the passage to the mainland, the gate. It guards the way out. It knows Munin waits for you on the other side. It wants to keep thought and memory apart. Clever wolf.
Of course it does, because nothing in this saga can ever be simple. Escape is blocked by a monster, and the only way forward is through its teeth.
Okay.
The eastern shore, the ferry. That is where the Verulfer walks when the red eye opens. But be warned, the ice is breaking. The path may kill you before the beast does.
The fire pops loudly, a sharp crack that echoes in the small platform space. The golden light outside is nearly gone, leaving the treehouse lit only by the flickering orange glow of the flames.
You have the torch. You have the silver. The sun dies soon. Will you hunt the hunter or try to slip past its jaws?
I'd rather prepare myself before the hunt. I will prepare for the hunt. But before that, can you place Urus and algae on my flesh?
Torolf studies your face, his pale eyes searching for hesitation. Finding none, he nods slowly and reaches into a clay pot, pulling out a slender bone needle and a small dish of black paste soot, mixed with water and fat.
The flesh remembers what the mind forgets. You wish to wear the bear and the elk, then we must carve them into you. It will hurt. Pain is the price of power.
Oh, splendid. More scars, because you didn't have enough of those from the shipwreck. Do ask him to draw a smiley face while he's at it. You look dour.
Torolf takes your arm, his grip firm and calloused. He dips the needle into the black paste and begins to work. The bone tip pierces your skin, sharp and stinging, driving the ink deep. He works with a rhythmic precision, humming that low discordant tune again. First the urus on your forearm, the aurochs, strength. Then the algaes on your wrist, the elk, the shield.
It's cool.
Breathe with the needle, do not fight it. The pain opens the door, now the bear walks with you. Now the elk stands guard. You are marked by the old alphabet.
The process feels endless, a slow fire burning under your skin. When he finishes, your arm throbs with a dull, heavy heat.
No memory tattooed arm.
Torolf wipes the blood away with a scrap of fur, revealing the dark, stark lines against your pale skin.
Charming. Now you look like every other superstitious savage on this rock. I'm sure the beast will be terrified of your new doodles.
It is done. The ink is wet, but the vow is dry. You carry the protection now. The sun is nearly gone, Strandwalker. The red eye opens soon. Will you descend into the dark?
Might as well. Yes. Let's get this hunt on. Normally I probably wouldn't, but this is something I normally wouldn't try. And it's a demo, so let's try stuff I wouldn't normally do. North Forest. Sundown.
You grip the rough wood of the rope ladder and swing your legs over the edge of the platform. The fire's warmth fades with every rung you descend, replaced by the biting chill of the coming night. The air below is still and heavy, smelling of damp pine and old snow. Your boots hit the forest floor with a soft crunch. Above the treehouse is a dark silhouette against the salmon and violet sky, smoke curling from its fire pit like a grey ghost. Around you, the ancient spruces stand like silent giants, their branches interlocking overhead to shut out the last light. The silence here is wrong. No birds call, no small animals rustle in the undergrowth. Only the wind, sighing through the needles, and the distant rising howl of wolves echoing from the deep woods. The fresh ink on your arm throbs in time with the cold.
And so the warrior descends from the madman's nest, back to the cold, the dark, and the things that want to eat you. I do hope you enjoyed your chat about squiggles.
You stand at the base of the great oak. Paths lead away into the gloom to the south. The forest thickens. To the east, the land rises. To the west, the terrain climbs toward the high cliffs. The sun is nearly gone.
Okay, what I want to do is pick some of the poisonous. Oh, wait. Berries and make and mash it into a paste. What do I have? To a paste to spread along X. So the blade of... I don't have no idea if this will work, of the axe.
You push through the deepening gloom toward the spruce bough where the red berries glisten. The air is cold enough to bite, but your blood is up.
Mm-hmm.
You pluck the clusters, the juice staining your fingers a dark, suspicious crimson. Hugin watches from a low branch, tilting his head as you crush the fruit between two stones.
Ah, the classic strategy. If you can't kill it with strength, kill it with a stomachache. Do tell me if your tongue starts to swell. I'll enjoy the silence.
You work the berries into a thick, dark paste, the smell sharp and cloying sweetness rotting into something sickly. You take your hand axe, the iron cold and heavy, and carefully smear the red sludge along the edge of the blade. It clings there, glistening wetly in the fading light. The forest seems to hold its breath around you. The wolf howls, falling silent for a moment.
You realize, of course, that one slip of that blade against your own skin, and you are the one who dies writhing in the dirt. Bold gamble, Strand Walker.
I know. I didn't think about it. Wait, apply it without harming yourself. I'm rolling it. Except. Why was it only 2?
The paste clings to the iron, dark and slick as dried blood. You wipe the excess from your hands onto the moss, careful not to let a single drop touch your skin. The axe feels heavier now, not with weight, but with consequence.
A masterpiece of death. Now you have a sharp stick that kills you if you scratch your nose. Truly, the wisdom of the Allfather flows through you.
The last light bleeds from the sky, leaving the forest in a deep, bruised purple. The air grows colder, biting through your furs. From the south, a wolf howls closer this time. The sound is joined by another.
Hand axe coated in poisonous berry paste. I had to try. Head east to the eastern shore to get to the ferry. I would look for the wolf, but it's going to find us at one point. And we know what it's guarding, so. Look out. Dusk.
The climb is steep and unforgiving. Your boots slipping on loose scree as you haul yourself up the final slope.
Okay.
You crest the ridge and the world falls away beneath you. Wind screams across the exposed rock, tearing at your furs, cutting through the warmth you gathered at the fire. Here, at the island's spine, the sky is a vast, empty dome of steel blue and fading violet. To the west, the forest is a black stain spreading across the land, a single thread of smoke rising from the ancient oak where Torolf watches. To the south, the land slopes down to the whale cemetery, white bones gleaming in the gloom, and beyond it, the rocky flatness of the ferry. Your eyes track east, following the jagged coastline to the frozen passage. A white scar of ice connects the island to the distant mainland, a fragile bridge over the black, churning water. Even from here, you can see the dark fractures running through it like veins. The mainland is a shadow on the horizon, Munin waiting somewhere in that dark. Above it all, the moon is rising, not yet red, but swelling with the promise of it.
A fine view for a funeral. Look at that ice. It's cracking before your eyes. One wrong step, or one strong wave, and you take a very cold, very permanent swim.
The wind howls, carrying the scent of salt and old snow. The path down to the ferry is a steep, dangerous descent visible to the south, a narrow track clinging to the cliff face. The wolf howls have stopped, and the silence is heavier than the wind.
The beast is down there. Somewhere between you and that ice. It knows you're coming. It can probably smell the poison on your axe from here.
Huh. The wind's steep, visible to the south, a narrow track climbing. Search for the safest way. Wait, actually, ask, what is this raven's name? Eugen. Eugen. It may be like, nah, I'm gonna dip out. If it can fly to find the safest trek down. The safest path down. I'm pretty sure that's correct. H-U-G-I-N-N. Yeah. Is it gonna cuss us out?
The wind tears at your cloak as you turn to the raven, perched on a jagged rock nearby. His feathers are perfectly still, unaffected by the gale that nearly knocks you off your feet.
Can you fly? Find the safest path down?
Fly. I am a thought chosen, not a pigeon for your convenience.
So one
I
is
go
thought
where
and one
you
is
go.
actual memory.
If you fall, I fall. If you freeze, I freeze.
That's cool.
We are stuck in this together.
Huguenin tilts his head, his obsidian eyes
Huguenin.
glinting in the fading light. He hops once, turning his beak toward the southern slope.
But if you want my eyes, look there. The path to the ferry is a goat track at best. Loose scree, slick ice, and a drop that would give even a raven vertigo. The safest way is the slow way, testing every foothold.
Below, the darkness deepens. The path winds down the cliff face, a thin grey ribbon against the black rock. The moon is rising, casting long, distorted shadows that hide the treacherous spots.
Or you could wait here, freeze to death with a nice view. It is a cleaner death than what waits in the dark below.
Call upon speak. Call upon, I guess, for guidance. I'm not asking Odin, because he took our freaking memory, for following Huguenin's direction before using the pathway Huguenin suggested, even though it is the slowest path. Let's see. Very. Moonrise.
The descent is a nightmare of loose stone and hidden ice. You place each foot with deliberate care, your boots skidding on the frost-slicked shale. The wind here is a living thing, tearing at your cloak, trying to pry you
we
from
were
the
on
cliff
here.
face.
How did you just win this?
You pause, your hand brushing the fresh alga's tattoo on your wrist, a silent prayer to the elk for shelter, for the shield to hold the path levels out onto the rocky expanse of the ferry. The moon hangs low and pale, casting a sickly sheen over the black rocks and the churning water beyond.
Slow and steady, very wise. The beast is surely napping down there, dreaming of sheep.
It's fine.
It won't notice you creeping across the rocks like a terrified mouse.
The frozen passage stretches out before you, a jagged scar of white ice connecting the island to the distant mainland. Even from here, you can hear it groaning, a deep, ominous sound like a giant cracking its knuckles. Dark fractures spiderweb across its surface, and the water beneath heaves with restless swells.
Also, we should X.
On the other
each
side,
route
the
we went
mainland
to.
is a dark
And
silhouette,
put
fires flickering faintly in the distance.
I put
The air smells of salt
Hermit's
and
house.
something else, something
Something.
coppery and wild, beast scent.
There it is, the Bridge of Bones. One slip, one crack, and the sea takes you. And if the ice doesn't kill you, the thing waiting in the shadows will.
The terrain here is uneven, a maze of slick boulders and tidal pools frozen in mid-splash. There is no cover. If the beast is watching, you are exposed. To the north, the steep path leads back up to the lookout. To the south, the rocky path winds toward the whale cemetery. Ahead, the ice passage waits, silent and deadly.
Did you hear that? It knows you're here. The hunt begins.
A low growl rolls across the open ground, vibrating in your chest. It came from the darkness near the ice passage. Something is moving out there, just beyond the reach of the moonlight.
Oh boy. Do I take out and light the torch, place it in the left end, my left hand axe, and place my axe, place the axe in my prominent hand, and the torch in the other, before making our way to the weight in the other. Before slowly making our way towards course, carefully making our way towards the ice passage, preparing to come on.
The flint strikes, a shower of sparks catching the resin-soaked torch. The fire roars to life, casting long, dancing shadows across the slick rocks. You grip the hand axe in your strong hand, the poisoned blade gleaming darkly in the firelight, and hold the torch high in the other. The heat is a small comfort against the biting wind.
Brilliant. Now you are a beacon in the dark.
We are,
Here I
but
am,
it's
come
dark.
eat me, written in smoke and flame.
You step forward, boots crunching on the frost-covered ground. The frozen passage lies ahead, a jagged bridge of white ice over black water. The groaning of the ice grows louder, a deep, bone-shaking sound. From the shadows near the passage, two eyes reflect the torchlight yellow, slitted, and filled with a hunger that predates man. The beast steps into the moonlight. It is massive, a nightmare of muscle and fur, standing on two legs like a man, but shaped like a wolf. Its claws are black scythes, and its breath steams in the cold air. It does not charge. It watches you head tilted, as if calculating the distance between your fire and its throat.
There it is. Fenrir's get. It looks faster than you, stronger than you, and it knows you have to cross that ice.
Outrun the beast to reach the ice. Oh. I kind of want to refuse this one. You know what? Let's see. A 6, though. I don't want to outrun it. Let's refuse it. Let's see what happens. Your character will not attempt this skill check. You're choosing an alternative action instead. There may be... crap. Let's see. 1. I'm gonna add a success. Yep. And that was actually, we were decent at both of that. Frozen Passage, Moonrise.
Your boots hit the ice, sliding for a heart-stopping moment before finding purchase. You scramble forward, lungs burning, and don't stop until the solid ground of the island is yards behind you. The beast skids to a halt at the edge of the frozen passage, its claws gouging deep furrows in the rock. It snarls, a sound of pure frustration pacing back and forth along the shore. It is too heavy, too large to follow. The ice groans under your weight, a deep, ominous protest that vibrates through your souls.
Well done. You've traded being eaten by a wolf for being drowned by the ocean. The ice is already singing its death song.
The frozen passage stretches out before you, a 200-meter scar of white ice over black water. To the west, the beast is a dark silhouette against the tree line. To the east, the mainland waits, a distant shore dotted with the warm glow of fires and the faint outlines of huts. Somewhere there, Munin waits. The wind cuts across the exposed ice, carrying the spray of freezing water that coats your furs in rime. A crack shoots through the ice a few feet to your left, spiderwebbing outward with a sharp report. The dark water beneath churns, visible through the widening fissure. The path is failing, and you're standing on it.
Standing still is death. Moving is death.
Yep.
Choose your death, Strandwalker. The mainland is close, but the ice is a liar.
Touch the deep. I'll give this name again and run for the mainland. We don't need crushing strength. We need to run.
You shout Algiz, the elk's shield, and drive your boots into the cracking ice. The fissure widens behind you with a sound like snapping bones, black water surging up through the white shell.
What is this? Oh, see our fate. Am I dying? Am I making it?
You do not look back at the beast pacing the shore, nor at the dark forest where Torolf tends his fire alone.
Poor Torolf.
You run, the wind howls, tearing at your cloak, but the mainland fires grow brighter with every step. The ice groans, a dying beast beneath your feet, holding just long enough for you to scramble onto the rocky shore of the mainland. You collapse onto the frost-covered ground, gasping, your lungs burning with the cold air. The torch sputters and dies in the wet snow ahead. The dark silhouette of a raven perches on a jagged rock, larger than any bird has a right to be. Its feathers absorb the moonlight, drinking it in. Hugin lands beside it, his small, dark form settling next to the massive presence of his brother.
Oh.
You came alone, but you came.
Hi, Munin.
I've held your memories a long time. They're heavier than you'd think. Names, faces, a home. But first, my brother must tell me what you did with the time Odin gave you.
They survived. That's what Odin asked, isn't it? Survive the trial? There was a madman in the trees, Torolf. He marked her flesh with ink and fire, gave her the torch she carries now. He spoke of gods and wolves. There were others, a mother in the plains, thieves in the forest. She walked past them all, didn't look back. Efficient, cold. Cold as the ice she crossed.
Ah.
Your name is Odd. It means fortune.
Odd.
The memories rush in like a tide. The raid on Northumbria.
Oh.
The roar of the Draka as you beached it. Jarl Thorfinn's voice, rough and warm, calling you his shield sister. The smell of roasting meat in the great hall. The faces of your crew, laughing, drinking, alive. You remember the storm, the wave that took the ship, the cold, and you remember the church. You see it clearly now, a stone church in Northumbria, burning. Your shield brothers cutting down the monks who resisted. You stood in the doorway, axe raised, and saw a child huddled under the altar. You looked up. A raven watched from the roof. You lowered your axe. You pulled the child out and told it to run. Only the raven saw.
Huh.
Was it the exception then, the mercy, or was today?
You're alive, Ord. That counts for something. It has to.
The two ravens take flight, their wings beating as one, rising into the sky toward the unseen halls of the Allfather. You stand on the mainland shore, the wind cold against your face. You are whole. You remember, you are alone.
Who's this guy? Raise, ponder found among his men and hosts. His power. Oh no! Your third continues, but you've reached the end of what you prepared for the show. Oh, that was freaking cool. I liked it. There had better have been another part of that trial though. That was cool. Either way, thank you everyone. I hope you're having a fantastic time. I really like this demo, but this is literally right up my alley. I love stuff like this. But again, thank you. Hope you have a fantastic time and see you on the next one.